Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show. I'm Billy, the host. Welcome back to the show. 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 I'm Billy, the host. Welcome back to the show. I'm Billy, the host. We are in Larry's studio in Doraville, Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
And we just met him today off of Peerspace, and I'm joined today by my special guest. He's a musician, actor, voice actor. You might have seen him in tons of cheesy horror films or some independent video games. Please, everybody, welcome to the show, Collin Fiol.
Hello.
Did I say that right?
Yes.
All right, good.
I might as well change it to foil at this point to make it easier on everyone.
I did it in practice.
It's all right.
Collin is the bass. Well, you're in a lot of bands, so why don't you just say which?
So I play bass and sing in a band called The Day After, like heavy punk rock, metal, hardcore, whatever. I play bass and sing in a band called Post Gospel, which is like that Midwest emo alternative, like if the Goo Goo Dolls and Switchfoot had a baby in 2023 kind of sound.
Nice.
And I play in a band called First Jason with Ari Lehman, who played the first Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th. So horror punk about killing a bunch of horny teenagers. It's a fun time. It's ridiculous.
I saw the first Jason, man. Am I allowed to be totally honest about my opinion of the band?
Go ahead.
Right, okay. When you first told me what it was, I was like, this sounds kind of stupid.
That's fine.
And then I saw the show, and I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
in
dude,
my
it's
life.
fun. It's ridiculous. Like, it shouldn't work, but it does.
Like Ari plays the guitar.
Yeah, and he's
that's amazing.
Actually great. Like,
it's very entertaining.
Like, the man is a cartoon, and I love him, but he then, like, there's times I forget, I'm like, God, the dude can shred. Like, I can't do anything even remotely that cool. But like, he went to like school, and he went to like college for music after he did Friday the 13th, and it like he like the people that taught him have like movies made about them and their music. Like, so he learned from great people, and he is an amazing musician. Like, it's awesome. I'm very lucky to be in a band with him.
Yeah, he's a great showman too. I realized because kind of meeting him, I was like, okay, this guy's kind of old. He's got like old kind of metalhead vibes to him. And then once you guys started playing, he was. I don't know. He's very animated on stage.
He is a showman through and through.
The songs are obviously very campy. I like that song that's like, Jason is watching you.
Yeah, that one's a fun one. He like through anything. Like, he is very presentational.
And y'all's drummer is just a metronome machine back there.
He is great. BA is awesome. It's odd. So he's a drummer, but his name is Bass Amp. Get your head around that. But no, he's awesome. He played in a bunch of punk bands based out of St. Louis. He's in a band called Bass Amp and Dano, and he was in a band called The Pubes. He's great. Yeah,
he seems like an interesting guy.
Oh, he's wonderful.
Well, I didn't get a chance to talk to him as much.
He's a great dude.
What's like your favorite genre of music to play? Because you shred on the bass too. I was noticing.
So none of the bands I'm in are the music I actually like love.
Right.
Like, it's fun to play.
Yeah.
And I love the bands that I'm in, but my favorite stuff is basically take like the soundtrack to any like early 2000s teen sex comedy, like the American Pie soundtrack. That is my favorite kind of music. So like Sum 41's my all-time favorite band. Blink, Green Day, New Found Glory, Simple Plan, Yellow Card. Like, I still listen to all those bands regularly, and all their new stuff too, which a lot of people like didn't stick around for, but their new stuff is just as good, if not better, than the stuff back in the early 2000s, in my opinion.
You think so? I like the new Blink record.
I did too. It's awesome.
With Tom. Tom is back now that he was able to prove that there are aliens.
Right, yeah.
I guess that's what it was all about.
Yeah, you got shit to do.
I was like watching something. It was like Blink 182 playing at Spring Break in Panama City in like
in like 99 or
Yeah,
something.
like the late 90s, maybe early 2000s.
Yeah, like right before anime came out.
Yeah, and I was like, man, you're never gonna have this again.
Oh no, never.
It's
like
over.
where there's like a half pipe behind the bands and stuff like that. Like,
did you ever play Warped Tour? How old are you?
I am 30.
Okay, we're the same age then.
Yeah, I have to think about it because there's like a running bit now that I'm just forever 19.
Yeah.
Like and I didn't even really start it, but I'm just kind of been going with it. Like every year, people wish me happy 19th birthday.
I thought maybe something, between, like I was gonna guess like 25, because you got some youth left.
I on film and on screen, like I play younger, so I just roll with it. It's state of mind anyway. As I always say, you can stop counting whenever you want, but you can't go backwards. So I just stopped counting at 19.
Yeah, there you go. But I feel like sometimes life makes you get older too.
Yeah, true.
Like, I just had a kid,
right?
And I was saying, since I've had a kid, I just can't wear skinny jeans anymore.
Right.
They're not comfortable to me anymore, and I just can't do it.
Right.
And I'm also wearing like my dad's shoes now, because if I don't, then my feet hurt and my knees hurt.
True. You got the New Balance yet?
These are Asics. I am gonna get some New Balance, but it's like I really feel like my physiology changed after like spending so much time with my baby, because my clothes fit different, and dad's strength is real too. Because at first I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna survive picking this baby up. It's a heavy
a lot
at
of
first,
bending,
and then you get used to it. You gotta bend over in the crib and like give her a bottle and stuff at night. It's like your lower back starts to hurt, but eventually you just get used to it.
Right. I'm still like in like that fun uncle stage with a lot of my friends' kids and my god kid.
Yeah.
So like I took my god kid to his first Comic-Con recently.
Nice.
And that was a blast. But like so I'm a nerd through and through, in the sense that like these are not toys.
Right.
These are collectibles. And he does not grasp that concept. So like, and of course, like we get to Comic-Con, he's losing his mind. He got dressed up as some Naruto or Demon Slayer character. I don't know. I don't really totally follow anime.
Nice.
But he like I was gonna buy him some goodies and stuff like that, but he's like, first booth he sees, he's like, we're spending it all right here.
Yeah.
And then like I'm like, are you sure? And he's like, yes. And then like we move to the second booth. He's like, hey, what if we also got something from here? And I'm like, no, we just spent all of it. And then that thing also broke in the car on the way home, because like he bought like some fancy like fire sword from some anime, like it was sharp. It was like a letter opener.
Yeah.
And he broke it on the way home. And I'm like,
was it a real sword? It was metal and everything?
It was metal, I think.
Because I don't
like
think
a really like maybe like a carbon fiber or something or other.
Yeah.
I don't know how he broke carbon fiber, but
because I think I used to, when I was younger, I would buy the swords at the anime conventions, but I think they stopped doing that because then like people were starting to hit each other with them and stuff.
Yeah, like you gotta be like over 18 now to buy them.
At least in Atlanta, like the conventions here, you can buy them there, but then they'll just ship them to your house or something.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
That's cool though. I never had the uncle to take me to those kinds of things though. My dad would take me sometimes, but he would never spend money on anything. So he'd be like, nah, they're trying to scam you.
Right. I never went to a show like with my dad, but like if he would have taken me, it would have been like, we're not gonna spend money on a thing. We're gonna spend money on doing a thing. So like
the experience.
Getting a picture like on Appa or something like that. Like that was what he would.
Getting a picture with Corey Feldman.
Right. Yeah. That okay. I gotta be careful what I say.
Yeah. Okay. You don't have to talk about it. I saw him at a comic convention in Atlanta recently where I was doing stand up on the show, so I got in for free.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get a picture with him so bad, but it was like I would have been pressed for time, and it was like $100, and I was like, I just missed it.
No, he's an alright dude.
He's great.
Yeah, no, he's fine. He's harmless.
Yeah, nobody puts a better live show together than
Oh yes,
Corey
I'm
Feldman.
and through jealous that he's on that Limp Bizkit tour though.
But that's crazy. You're not much into the more modern pop punk. If your favorite bands are like Blink and Sum
Yeah,
41. And
like there are a few that I like. I can appreciate a lot of bands, but I don't necessarily like love just throwing them on because
yeah,
I'm like I said, I still love all those bands' newer stuff too. Like that newest Sum 41 record that they just dropped it might be my new favorite Sum 41 record.
What about how do you feel about the new Green Day?
I thought it was fun.
It's pretty good.
I like it.
It's not bad.
It's never gonna be. They're not gonna make another Dookie
Yeah,
or Kerplunk.
yeah. I even like American Idiot.
Yeah, American Idiot's great. That like if an album could win an Oscar, like that's an album that could win an Oscar. Like,
Yeah,
but they're not gonna. They're making the music that they want to make, and some of it's just straight up like a rock and roll band.
right.
Some of it's kind of poppy too. Like there's a lot of stuff on the newer record that Billy does like a falsetto thing in, which is like not very Green Day at all, but at the same
Right.
time it's the most Green Day thing. But that band can do whatever they want, and people will say all the time that like Green Day sold out. Like no, they didn't sell out. They made the music they wanted to make, and it got popular, and uh, then they just kept doing that.
Yeah.
Like it didn't stay the same, and that they're still getting radio play even with the newer different stuff.
That's what it's all about to me. Is like I never joined a band to like make a product and make money off
Yeah.
it. Sure, it'd be great to make a
Right,
living
yeah.
doing what I enjoy doing, but
Mhm.
I joined a band just to have fun with my friends
That's how it should be.
and make some music that we liked to listen to and play. And
Right. Yeah. Like so I've always said if the band that you're in isn't at least one of your favorite bands, then get out of that band because if you're not having fun, why should anyone else have fun or enjoy your band? Like if you're having fun, that's the goal. If fans or money come from it as well, that's a bonus, but if you're not having fun, just leave. Do something else.
yeah, when I used to hang out at Swayze's all the time, people would always people would be like, "Yeah, I'm in a band, but we suck," and I would be like, "Stop saying you suck. Like, either get better."
Right.
Or join a different band.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Like figure out what the problem is, or just have confidence in the music. If you really like what the music you wrote and you stand
Right.
behind it, then have confidence in that. And
Right.
like,
Absolutely.
don't say, "Oh, my band sucks," because why would you want to be in a shitty band?
Exactly.
Even if your band is shitty, you should at least
Yeah, own your shit.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing too. Like a lot of people. So if you the people always kind of forget about the business aspect of it, which sucks. Like yeah, we're there to have fun, but like your job is also to kind of sell your band.
Yeah.
To like you want people to like you.
Yeah.
'Cause I mean like yeah, like I'm down for 5 people showing up to a basement show, but I'm also down for 500 people showing up to an actual venue. And if you're not selling yourself, you're not going to get really either of those shows.
Yeah, because there's a difference between like selling a product and selling your art.
Mm-hmm.
Because you do have to make an effort to get yourself. I see a lot of young musicians kind of fall out of the scene because they're like, "Oh, I think my music's good, but like just nobody cares." It's like,
Right.
of course nobody cares. Why would they?
Yeah, like so. One thing a lot of people don't get is like when you play a show, it is your job to put on a good show, to play a solid set. That is your bare minimum. That's expected of you. But what you need to do from there is mingle. Like network, find people to care, make them care. Any band that we play with, I make sure I watch at least. Obviously I can't do it every single time because I'm busy, but like every band we play with, I try to make a point to watch some of their set, make eye contact with with every single member that's playing at least once, so they know I watched their band.
Yeah.
And like now we're homies. Like we can play something, even if I don't love the band.
That's a
like,
good
make
way.
Friends.
That's a good way to make friends. One thing I like, but also it started to set this precedent where, especially around like the Swayze scene and stuff, where people would start ragging on bands for not watching
Yeah.
the other bands on the show and everything. Which what I like about stand-up comedy is that we're all friends and we don't watch each other at
Oh, really?
all.
Okay.
Yeah, we all have this, like, in Atlanta, we have this courtesy of, like, yeah, I don't have to watch you and you don't have to watch me,
Okay.
and we're homies.
That's cool.
And as soon as you're done with your set, you can leave right before my set, and I'm fine with that.
Okay.
And I really like that dynamic.
That's interesting.
Because you could be good friends with somebody and never have seen their set before.
Really?
It's
Okay. I mean, as long as there's like an understanding, like that's cool.
I think what it is you've been at a lot of alternative shows. Sometimes, for whatever reason, either the band didn't draw or the promoter didn't do his job or whatever. Everybody hates the venue or something. Like, shows just flop.
Right.
And it's a courtesy to stand there and watch the other bands to show, like, hey, we respect that you put a lot of work into this, and we're going to watch you because we want other people to respect our art too.
Yeah.
But comedy, it's like, we don't have time for that because I could get another spot in the city tonight.
Right. Yeah.
If I leave right
sense.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a little bit different because, like, I mean, we've pulled double duty a handful of times as far as like playing a show and then hauling ass to another state to play a show like later at night. Like we've done, like we played like a festival in St. Louis and then hauled ass up north to Chicago.
Dude, that's the way to go.
To play like a show in the evening, and it's exhausting. But like, I mean, we don't. There's not really the luxury of like playing a set at 7 and then packing all that shit up and going to another spot in the city or a town over to play at 9 or something like that.
I think it's fun, man.
It would be fun. But
it is harder with the
gear. You wouldn't have the draw either.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the nice thing about comedy
just
too,
kind
is
of a built-in crowd.
you don't you don't have to have your own gear, and a lot of times you don't have to have the draws.
Right.
Sometimes it's the club that has the draw,
right,
or it's the promoter. Everybody knows he puts on good shows with funny comics, so they come out every week or whatever month.
Right.
And so there's a lot of difference. Like, I feel like music and comedy have a lot of crossover.
Oh yeah.
But there's a few things where it was like, I got into music because I went to a venue when I was younger. I saw a band play. Like, one of my favorite bands as a, like, middle school, high schooler was Freshman 15. I remember seeing them play and being like, holy shit, I want to do that.
Right.
And then I assumed that all these people were like making a living doing this. It turns out they all work at Burger King.
Yeah, they all have day jobs that suck.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So, I joined a band right after, or I started a band in high school. We were just a little whatever, figuring ourselves out.
What was your first band called?
We were called The Final Half.
The Final Half?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we were named after just a file name for a song.
Okay.
It was like final half of the first song we wrote.
Oh, okay.
Or something.
I like that.
We were like, we'll just call the band.
There you go.
But yeah, it was just fun,
Yeah.
We were just kids and 16 years old.
Right.
So.
My first band, I was like 13, 14. It was pretty much exclusively covers and shitty punk songs, but it was called TV-14 because I loved the number band thing, and I wanted Sum 41 was my favorite band, so I wanted a 41 kind of in there. So TV-14 was my first one, and we played like 5 shows.
That's a good
but it was a
name.
blast. I love that name
you
still.
used the logo and everything.
Yeah, and that was just the design. That was the logo. It was a design that I didn't even have to create,
That's
and I could use for
clever,
free. Yeah. It was like all like SR-71 stuff. It was pretty much just number band covers, actually.
Hell yeah. Hey, that's the way to go. There used to be a numbered band in Atlanta. They were called Stamped 86. They were like a reggae punk band.
Stamped 86?
Yeah.
I like that. I have a project that I'm in the works with a couple of friends back home. And it is a cover project, but it's called Star 69. And I can't wait to start doing stuff for it because it's basically a parody band. But because I don't want to do the bar band thing because I don't drink. I don't want to do the bar band thing, but I want to do I want to be like a convention band thing. I want to play Comic-Cons and play like a cover set of like cartoon theme songs.
I would do the bar band thing if it made me enough money.
Mm-hmm.
But
some people make it work. Like, God, like
yeah.
there's this band from North called Rod Tough Curls and the Bench Press, and they are a cover band that plays like, I wouldn't say stadiums, but like big outdoor shows, and it's all covers. And I didn't realize that. I thought they were originals, and people just liked that band a lot. But no, it's all covers, and like they make bank.
Our buddy who used to do our recordings, he has a cover band. They're called the Jump Cut
Okay.
because he does. It's like he does like movies and stuff too.
Okay.
And they do all covers of like, all the '90s and 2000s,
Yeah.
like just like movie rock songs, like
See, I love
all
that,
those
yeah.
soundtrack songs.
Don't you forget
Yeah,
about
yeah.
me. Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
and so they make decent money playing at like tin roofs and
Okay, yeah.
yeah, and weddings and stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just like the white people's white
Oh
people
yeah,
band.
absolutely.
Yeah. Dude, Lisa Loeb was playing here in Atlanta recently,
Uh-huh.
and it was free.
Really?
And I didn't go, and I regret it.
Oh, that's a
Actually,
bummer.
it might not have happened yet. She
Okay.
had that song that was like, da, 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 da. You say, I only hear what I want to. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
yeah,
Lisa
yeah.
Loeb. Yeah, she's
All right.
playing at the Brookhaven Cherry Blossom Festival.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be such a fun time.
Here
I
in
love 90s
Atlanta.
music.
Yeah, so I don't know. I wasn't really super into like pop punk.
Yeah.
Like the older pop. I got more into the modern pop punk, like the Stories So Fars and
Yeah.
the 4 Year Strongs and
Yeah.
Wonder Years. Growing up, I was more into just like weird stuff. My dad listened to a lot of Frank Zappa,
Oh, okay, yeah.
Red Hot Chili Peppers. I got into like Visual K Japanese metal
Okay.
in middle school because I had a lot of friends that were into it. One friend specifically, her name was Christina. She got me into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't know if I listened to really any of that ever.
There's a band called The Gazette.
That at least sounds familiar.
I was super into that band.
And they're like Japanese metal, you said?
Yeah, they're Japanese.
Interesting.
But it's like heavy metal. I
Okay.
feel like the Japanese are keeping like rock music alive over there,
Dude,
man.
they
love
love
it.
music.
Yeah.
Like
Guitar music specifically.
Yeah, they
But also, there's a lot of Japanese like hip hop artists too. Like New Chavez is Japanese,
Okay.
and yeah, so they do everything. Lo-fi came from Japan,
Okay.
I think.
Nice. Yeah, like I have several friends from like bands that were like our level. So like not huge, but like doing all right, like regionally at least, and like they'll go to Japan and like every day sold out.
Yeah.
Like, and people know their words, or they don't. Like they just want to go to a show, so shows just do well.
Well, dude, a lot of the anime series, the intros are either like usually pop punk or
Yeah.
metal songs for
Oh,
the
yeah.
most part. You got like Naruto and Death Note, and like all those shows use like guitar heavy music.
Okay, so Death Note, I only watched like 2 episodes of maybe, and the closing credits song, I think it's that show. It's by a band called Maximum the Hormone.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god,
Great
that band
band.
rules
Yeah.
so hard.
Porno Graffiti's another one.
Okay. All right,
Great
check
band.
them out.
Yeah. Dude, there's a lot of great Japanese like punk and metal and pop punk music.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite bands is called Asian Kung Fu Generation.
Okay.
They're a pop punk band, but very like kind of indie,
Okay.
and they just have a huge catalog of music.
Nice.
And I can't understand what they're saying, but sometimes I like to just zone out and
Right.
listen to the music, and you don't have to worry about what he's saying, right?
Right.
You just feel the vibe.
So they're not a Japanese band, but you ever listen to Zebrahead? So they're a band from like Orange County or LA or something. They're out in California. But they're like rock, like rap rock or like rap metal type stuff. Like they're very shreddy, but they are like, again, like I discovered them from watching Dude, Where's My Car? They just had a song in that, and I fell in love with it.
I've seen that movie many
and
times.
and I I love that movie.
I have a friend who's really into retro video games and stuff, so he
Yeah.
has a CRT. He has a bunch of CRTs,
Yeah.
and he'll whenever he has a party, he'll put on "Dude, Where's My Car"
Really?
on VHS. And
That
it's
rules.
Like, it's the way to watch it. Too.
I love that.
Yeah.
We did it. So Christy Swanson has a part in that movie, if you remember her, and we did a show with her up in Canada, and she's like my mom now. I love Christy. She's a sweetheart. But Zebrahead though, like, they're an American band, but they are like the epitome that I've ever seen for big in Japan. Like, they can play like one festival in Japan and all pay their bills for a year.
Yeah.
It is awesome. They have a couple like songs that like have some Japanese in it. Like, they have a song called Ichini Sanshi, which is just 1 2 3 4.
Yeah.
By the way, they are like the kings of automatopoeias and woos and 1 2 3 4s and hays. Like, I could listen to that shit all day long.
Yeah.
But yeah, great band. I would love to be in that band. So much fun. But they have a cover of this band called E-Girls in Japan, and it's just so good. They take a pop song that's big in Japan, and they just did it in their style, and it's so good. You should definitely check it out.
I always wanted to, like, because Asian Kung Fu Generation doesn't tour the U.S. much. They'll play like California sometimes.
Right.
But, you know, they're the biggest band in Japan. So
are they actually?
Well, they're just very popular because they're in so many animes and things like, and also they're solid.
Yeah.
But it's like they wouldn't never have to leave Japan to make a living or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to do a cover band of all Asian Kung Fu Generation
That'd be
songs
dope.
And tour around the U.S. So
That'd
it's
be
like
awesome.
the next best thing, right?
Yeah.
You can't get the real band; they're too expensive, they're too famous. So you get the cover band to play at the con or whatever.
My friends have a band similar to that. They're from Fort Wayne, Indiana. They're called Spirit Bomb, and they just play anime songs.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's great. Like, I wouldn't know most of them, but like my buddy Damien is their drummer, and see the clips he posts, and like, God, I'll go to an anime con to check this out. This looks dope. I
should have said this at the beginning, but you and I met. Well, we met before while my band was on tour. We stayed at your house, and I think I was watching if it was the same, if it's what I remember, I was watching a movie on my phone or something.
Okay.
And there was a lot of like screaming in the movie, and it was like 2 a.m. or something. And I didn't realize that like somebody could hear it because we were in the basement.
That's so funny.
And it was like, yeah, we got up the next morning. You were like, somebody was playing, like, was somebody screaming last night? I was up all night. I felt so bad about that.
I don't even remember that part. I do remember you guys crashing with me because at that point you had
it was your house.
You had Don with you on that run. I remember Don.
You had bunk beds in the basement, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I just got rid of those bunk beds finally. Good. I couldn't stand those things.
But do you still live in the same place?
I've lived like 4 places since then. I've lived in more houses than years I've been alive.
But dude, that was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. But no, now I have my own house like that I own, and it's awesome.
That's what's up.
It's old. Like if you just saw the inside, you'd assume like it was like from 2002, 2006, something maybe. But like my house is from 1895, so like it's old as shit, which is cool. I mean, it's got good bones and stuff, but like at the same time, people back then weren't planning on, like, when they were making houses, they weren't planning on like, all right, where would a couch go in this situation, or where would a TV go? So my living room is so inconveniently laid out. There's like a doorway in the center of each wall, and it's a pain in the ass to figure out where I'm putting my couch or my bed. I don't have a closet in my master bedroom.
You don't see a lot of that here because Atlanta was burned to the ground during the Civil War.
Was it really?
All of Atlanta was burned completely to the ground from here to Savannah.
Oh, Jesus. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Sherman's March to the Sea. It's like a big U.S. history moment.
Well, that's lame.
Yeah. So literally everything here, save for like a few things off the beaten path, are from after the Civil War. Everything.
Interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's very weird. That's why Atlanta's so messed up, with all the streets and street names, and there's no real system for like where do the roads go.
Weird. Okay.
It's also like extremely like geographically segregated. Like
Huh.
the way they set up the county lines and everything after the Civil War is like super racist.
Really
Yeah. Yeah.
interesting. I wonder if that's something like where like normal schools by me would have taught, but I like so I when I was younger, I went to a Christian school, and they didn't tell you a lot of stuff. Like I didn't know what 9/11 was till like
Yeah.
2004,
Yeah.
because they like I remember like when it happened, everyone was like real sad. I didn't know why. And then like later on, they like finally told us when we got to like 4th grade or something, or 5th grade. But like we planted a tree outside and everything, and they brought us all out for it, but they wouldn't tell the younger kids what it was for. I saw it said 9/11 never forget, but I'm like, yep, that's the first thing they tell you. That's the first phone number is 911. Never forget that. And I thought it was just like a reminder for emergencies, call 911.
You would think the Christian school would teach that.
You'd think.
Did
But
they
yeah.
teach the Crusades?
No, they didn't. I don't remember much of that school actually. I got pretty good at my colors. That's about it.
There you go.
Yeah. It's pretty good at finger painting.
They teach you that.
Yeah. They gave me all the racist books.
So yeah, how long were you in Christian school? Because I do feel like American organized religion is pretty wild, like pretty out there.
Up through 6th or 7th grade or so, I think, because I moved to Indy for like 8th grade or high school.
I feel pretty fortunate that I went to public school in Marietta, Georgia, because it was pretty much a melting pot, pretty diverse.
Yeah.
Lots of different cultures and viewpoints and things. So
Okay.
it was like I always kind of felt plugged into the culture, like pop culture from a young age.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's good or bad, really.
I think it's probably good.
But I at least knew what was popular and what was like trending and stuff.
Yeah.
And I knew what was happening in the world, right? And I
Yeah.
felt like my school's stuff growing up was pretty middle of the road. There were teachers that were more conservative and teachers that were more liberal. And so nobody was really like pushing politics on anybody. You could kind of see glimpses of the teachers' politics, like obviously, but no, I never felt in school like somebody was making me think a certain way or.
Oh no, that was my whole thing. was like so it was a Christian school in Chicago, the suburbs of Chicago.
Yeah.
And like I don't think I had a single black person like in my class, or maybe a couple in school. So
oh my god.
So Mike Singletary from the Chicago Bears like Super Bowl like that team, like Mike Ditka and Walter Payton and all them. Like so his kids went to our school. Outside of that family, which he had like 8 kids.
And this was in Indiana?
This was in suburbs of Chicago, in Palatine,
Illinois, yeah.
So they were like probably like the only black people in the school. Granted, he had like 8 kids, but like they were all of them. And
that's crazy,
like,
man. Because you hear people say the South is racist or whatever, because we got some problems, I'll admit, down here. But then you talk to people in like the Midwest and stuff, and they're like, "Yeah, I didn't go to school with a single
yeah, no, it's
black person."
It's like, wild. Like
what?
So then and it kind of is. It's a big curveball because like if you go to school like that as long as I did, and I know people have done it longer, but like. I didn't go to public school really till like high school, and then I was like, oh my god, like people smoke weed. They say that's illegal, and it's weird.
Yeah, I was scared of weed until I was like in college.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I went a little too crazy in college with the drinking and partying and stuff. So that's why I quit drinking. I haven't had a drink in over 6 years now as well.
Yeah, that's good. Good for you, man. Happy for you.
Yeah, it was just something I realized does not fit my personality. So did you get into hip hop at all? Because we're in Atlanta, and you said you went to a pretty homogenous school, and I also have been staring at Outkast for this entire podcast.
I mean, not necessarily from people, I guess. Like, so I grew up with like just my mom and sister. And so whatever they were into, which was pretty much just pop radio, like so, like I know like one song from like a lot of people, like so like Temperature by Sean Paul was on there. I don't know if that you call that hip hop, but
Sure.
like some Black Eyed Peas,
Or R&B, yeah.
yeah, definitely knew a couple Outkast songs. Um, as far as me finding my own music, that song "Dig It" from Holes, that was my hip hop.
Digging up them
Oh,
holes, digging.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
my hip
okay.
hop legacy.
I'm tired, Grandpa.
That's too
It's
damn bad. Um, and like the Space Jam soundtrack. Oh, it's okay. So actually, no, I did have some hip hop that I listened to quite a bit. I don't know if you totally call it hip hop, but so my mom's best friend Tina. Uh, I don't know if you guys have like a fancy name for the cheerleaders. Full is it the Atlanta Hawks? Is that your basketball team?
I'm not a good person to ask about sports.
Okay. Well, like there's like a fancy name for like certain teams cheerleaders. Like the Indiana Pacers has the Pacemates.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
The Chicago Bulls.
Falcons. That's what our
Okay.
football team is.
Oh, the football team. Okay.
Hawks
So,
is the basketball team.
right. So the Chicago Bulls have the Lovables, and my mom's best friend Tina was a Lovable, and so like we listened to like her cheerleader like mixes and stuff like that they would like do, and we would like dance around the living room to that, and like jock jams and stuff. So that was all my favorite hip hop was like
I
Two
remember
Unlimited and Tag Team and stuff like that.
I did play. I played basketball and baseball as a kid.
Yeah.
I don't know. I spent a lot of my childhood not really knowing who I was.
Yeah.
And so I played a lot of sports
Uh-huh.
as a kid because I came from a sports family.
Mm-hmm.
But then eventually I realized that I'm not built for it.
Yeah.
I'm not good at it. I'm not.
I was all right at it. I just didn't like it really.
Yeah, same. I was like, I remember the one when I stopped wanting to play baseball, and this story sounds bad, but like I went out for an all-star team that I made, and I went to the first practice, and after the first practice, one of the other kids came up to me, and they were like, "Why are you on the all-star team? You suck."
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? He's right. Why am I here?
Yeah.
I don't like this. I'm not good at it. Yeah.
Never argue with the data.
And then I still went and tried out for the football team in high school. I played freshman year of high school. I was on the freshman football team. Not even junior varsity. And I remember getting laid out by one of the seniors in like a practice drill, and just realizing like I'm not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
This is not my place in life.
Yeah.
And I'm like staring at this guy like concussed. Like I'm not supposed to be here, coach.
Oh yeah.
I'm supposed to be over in theater class right now.
Right.
So yeah, eventually I figured it out, but it took me a while.
I did baseball for a long time. Like I feel like everybody starts with soccer when they're real little.
Yeah.
Because it's just running around and kicking stuff. Then I did baseball for years. And I got pretty good at baseball. I made like the all-star teams and stuff. I did basketball a little bit. But like I said, so like that school that I went to in Chicago, like I think, and it wasn't even like kindergarten through 8th grade. It was not even preschool. It was daycare through 8th grade. And there was, I want to say, like barely over 200 people in the whole school.
So
like my basketball team, like if you wanted on, you were on. Like they didn't care. Like they just need the people.
Do you want to have kids?
Yeah, I want to have kids.
If you had kids, would you send them to a private school or a public school?
Homeschool. And then like public sports, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I did like the part I liked about sports was just like talking shit with the boys afterward.
Yeah.
You know, or beforehand.
Uh-huh.
I hated the whole game and practice part of it, the physical aspect, but you know, just that camaraderie of you got a bunch of friends around and you're all talking shit to each other.
Right.
I liked that, and so that's kind of like it took me a long time to realize. Oh, I'm a comic. I like to talk shit, and that's, that's my whole like. That's what I like.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And so, eventually I found my way there.
That's good. Yeah, because so when I finally got thrown into that public school, Like it was the first time I ever had to try out for
Yeah.
something. So I tried out for the basketball team, and I was a short kid. I didn't grow until maybe my senior year of high school. Like
Yeah.
I was like 5'5", 5'6", if I was lucky.
Isn't that weird about basketball, where that's a sport where just being tall means you're better at the sport
Yeah.
than somebody else?
Like I was small, but I was scrappy. Like I could run faster than everybody.
Like
but
there's players who practiced more and probably had more skill than Shaquille O'Neal, but
oh god, yeah.
but could they beat him at basketball? I doubt it.
Right. Can you beat him at being tall?
Same with
Being a
LeBron
dinosaur?
James. LeBron James is so good because of the sheer size of the line.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, he can move, and
Yeah.
being able to move at that size is what really makes him
Mhm.
so great.
Oh yeah.
But
definitely.
basketball is just one of those sports where your size
Mhm.
highly factors into
Oh, definitely.
how good you are. I feel
Yeah.
like.
It's like the opposite of like racing horses. That's the word. Like you gotta be real little.
Yeah, yeah. And you gotta always bet on the long shot.
Oh yeah.
I learned that from Grand Theft Auto.
I never got into Grand Theft Auto. Like it's a fun game to like dick around in.
You gotta have friends online with it.
Yeah, like it was a tour game for me, like because everybody always just has it.
Yeah.
So like you jump on it on whoever's house you're crashing at.
Yeah, kill
and
some cops.
Yeah, like do all the cheats, the Skyfall cheat. and,
Okay, yeah.
But I loved like Red Dead. And
Red Dead?
I loved
Okay, yeah.
L.A. Noire. But just I like Western.
Did you play
things.
Bully?
I didn't, not because I avoided it. I actually feel like I probably would have loved that.
Yeah,
but
Bully was sweet.
I just never played it. Did they ever remaster it? Because I might go back.
I
And play
think
it.
there was a rumor they were going to,
Mm.
but Rockstar takes forever with everything. So
Was there a Bully 2, or was that a rumor too?
I think that might have been a rumor.
Okay,
I'm not sure. I only played the first one. If they did make a second one,
gotcha.
but yeah, Red Dead is great. What I like about Grand Theft Auto is the online mode.
Okay, what do you do online? I didn't even realize that there was online
It
stuff.
it's almost like an MMO RPG in a way where
You stumble upon people, or-
yeah, there's just people out in the world. Unfortunately, there's a lot of hackers,
Okay.
but you just got to get like 4 of your friends together, and then you can do these heists where the first one is like you break a guy out of prison, and there's all these like everybody has a different job,
Okay.
and everybody has to do their own job in the.
Yeah.
And then you kind of have to all finish your job at the same time. And
Right.
sometimes you pair up. And there's quite a few of those in the game. And that's really the most fun part to me. Is it's like a cooperative player versus enemy type of
Okay.
instance. Yeah.
So I never got into the
It's
whole
really fun.
online gaming in general thing. Like I could get more behind it if it was like, hey Billy, do you want to hop on and play
Yeah.
the game? But
That's
like,
how
just
it was for
jumping
me.
into a game with a bunch of strangers, I never saw the appeal of that.
That's how it
People take way
always
too
was
seriously.
for me. Was my friends would be like, "Hey, we're all gonna get on Halo tonight," or
Yeah.
that's how it started, or whatever.
Right.
Like Xbox Live and everything.
Right.
And then so some of those friends I've just stayed friends with my
Yeah.
whole life. Like they're not in show business. They're not comedians. They're not musicians. They're
Okay.
just
They're just your gamer
just
dudes.
my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll meet up for barbecues and parties and stuff.
Mhm.
But we like to play games together.
That's
And
cool.
so we've kind of just kept that as we got older.
Yeah.
So nowadays we'll play like Overwatch or
See, it's the competitive
Like
games that I
Valorant.
was never like
I
a
can't.
huge fan
I'm not good at them.
Yeah,
but
like-
some of them are just fun casually.
of.
Like
yeah.
I used to play Fortnite a little bit, and me and my friends would have fun on that. But then
Mhm.
our other friend like moved back to town,
Yeah.
and he was like, and I was like, "Hey man, do you still play Fortnite?" And he was like, "I don't want to talk about it." And I was like, "Well, I've been playing a lot, man. You should get on and we'll play together sometime." He's like, "All right, fine."
Yeah.
He gets on. He's like, way better than all
Yeah,
of us.
just smoking all of you.
But
Like,
yeah, he's just this total like cynic about it too. Of like he
Wow.
thinks he's not. He says he's not even close to good
I'm
at the
dog
game
ass
compared to like the elite of
Yeah.
the people that play
the
this
people
game
that get
competitive.
paid to play it. Yeah.
But meanwhile, he's like, it's pretty much carrying our entire team to
Right.
victory every match because we're in like the lower shitty lobbies with worse players and bots half the time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so so that just kind of killed it for me because I was like, well, I'm never gonna be as good as he is.
Right. Our producer back home, Jordan, got like he has thousands of hours put into Rocket League, and like I liked Rocket League, past tense, liked Rocket League, because like, and I like playing on his team, but like, we could do 3-on-1 and he will smoke us 15-0.
It's not fun.
And that's him toying with us.
And I think I'm just not. Same with sports. I'm just not built that way. Like I think some people are just naturally good at video games, and some people just don't have it. And I just don't have it. I don't care, maybe.
Yeah.
Or I don't have that competitiveness.
Yeah, like I jump on to have fun, like, but like but like playing Halo for the first time online, like God, I'm dog ass at Halo. Like apparently I thought I was okay.
You used to be able to beat all your friends and everything, then you get online, you get spanked. It's like, what happened?
I'm definitely much more of a co-op gamer, like with a common goal, let's play through the campaign kind of thing.
And that's what I like about the
even on a hard difficulty, that's
like
fine,
Grand Theft Auto is you get like 3 of your buddies and you go pull off a heist and there's something, and it takes a long time to figure it out, but once you figure it out, you can do it again. Like it'll take you like 6 hours. Destiny 2 was another one like that.
Okay, my vocalist loves that game.
It had raids. Yeah, he probably likes to do raids with like a bunch of people maybe, and like you'll get like 8 to 10 people together for a raid, and a lot of times 6 of those people will be our friends, and then we'll just find some randoms or whatever. But
because like a lot of the time it's like I don't know if I have that many friends.
But yeah, we'll have enough people a lot of the times, and then that's really fun especially if you don't look up like how to do it, because a lot of it's like puzzles and problem solving, and it could take like 8 to 12 hours if you're just trying to blind run it. Of course, you can look up YouTube videos how to do it and everything, but I had one friend who was real adamant about like I want to just learn how to do it and see if I can figure it out on my own. And so it was a lot of fun. We'd be sitting there gaming for like 8 hours.
Oh yeah, that's fun. It's hard, especially like nowadays, to do that, to get people who have the time to do that, or to set aside that much time even for yourself to do that. But yeah, I was definitely always more into the whole like puzzly aspect of games than I was like just going and being the best at killing people.
But you've been in some video games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Provided some voice acting and things. Just voice acting, or have you done like music for games as well?
We've had some songs in games before, but we didn't. I've never like written a song for a game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've done some voice acting in some games. There's gonna be a game coming out called Red Rabbit. That's still in development. There is.
That could be on Steam.
They'll all probably be on Steam.
Yeah.
If not, like maybe even like a free download, like directly from the site.
Okay, nice.
That game, that one will be on Steam.
But a Unity download,
something like that, or maybe Epic Games. I'm not sure. There's another game. Did you ever play Command and Conquer in the 90s?
Yeah, of course.
So
I'm a PC gamer.
There you go. So Command and Conquer Tiberian Sun, that one is getting a facelift, and I am doing a couple voices in that.
Okay, that's my friend is a big Command and Conquer fan.
Okay,
so
cool.
I'm gonna let him know.
Yeah, when that comes out, if it's not free, I'm sure I'll get a couple links for it. That I'll shoot one.
Did you ever see the web series Pure Ownage? It's like a Canadian web series about a professional gamer who's just kind of a degenerate piece of shit.
Okay.
And his game of choice was Command and Conquer.
That's awesome. See, that's the thing too. Like, I don't love that kind of game.
0 hour. Like, dude, I'm just not good at it. You know, it's one of those things. Like, some people have it, some people don't. I used to play StarCraft a little bit, and then I realized, like, some people are gods at this, and I'm never gonna be that good,
right?
And I don't care.
Yeah,
I've especially since I had my daughter, I've been kind of chilling on the video games, like, because it just doesn't feel productive. I'm like, I'm not doing anything to make money.
Yeah,
I'd rather either like edit some podcasts or edit some clips, or at least do something that's productive than just play a game. But every now and then I like to just have fun with the boys.
Sure. So I don't know if you remember, like, or if you played Tiberian Sun, but like a lot of those games like had, like, they filmed like celebrities and like for the cutscenes and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
James Earl
Yeah,
Jones
yeah.
is in that game.
Yeah.
And it's
I
put out
miss
by,
those days, man.
like, and it's cool, but like apparently like the sound on those games was shit, and like the voice acting and the voiceover on those games was shit. So like that's kind of where like me and a bunch of other folks came in, and I did not play that game. So when I auditioned for this, I had no idea what this game was. So when I like found, when they were like, yes, you got the part, because I went out for a couple characters and I landed like 3 or 4.
Nice.
One of them's like the guy,
Nice.
like the hero of the game. I don't even remember who played him. Michael Biehn, Biehn, I think was the actor that played him. And I didn't realize that I landed the guy. And then like a bunch of the other like 2 or 3 are like just sort of like shouty Marine guys, like the construction unit, move out, like those type of
that's great
shouty
though,
things.
Man.
But it's fun. I had more fun with
some of those become iconic.
Oh yeah,
right? They become memes and things like that. So you never know.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a blast.
Like I guess I do know some people who are interested in like voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so what would you say would be your advice for somebody who wants to get into voice acting?
So a big
we do gotta get out of here soon.
Okay, so a big misconception with voiceover is that a lot of people think that it is easier than on-camera acting, and I would disagree with that, because the key word is acting. Your voice acting, but you don't have the crutch of people seeing your face when you do it. So you have to convey all that emotion, all that fear, all that happiness, all that joy, all that anger and rage without anybody seeing your face or any part of you. So you have to, like, I definitely recommend acting classes if you want to get into voice acting. You don't have to, because it's not, you don't, like people have their own ways. Some people are very lucky and you don't have to. I didn't take many. I took improv classes. That was
I was just going to say, same with comedy. It's like you can take a class and it'll probably help, but you don't have to.
Yeah, improv is a good one to have because when you're going out for an audition or like when you're being directed, you need to be able to jump into whatever they're looking for, even if it doesn't totally make sense.
Doing characters and things.
So like if they're like, all right, so say the line is what I did earlier, like, so construction unit, move out. They're like, all right, we want you to do it brighter but grittier. Whatever that means, you got to do it brighter and grittier. So if I did construction unit, move out, like I got to go brighter and grittier. So
we need a little more meat and potatoes on that one.
Construction unit, move out, or something like that. Just like got to get a little more grit in the voice, but like
now slap some sauce on it.
Yeah, like, but even if that's not what they were looking for, they might be like, okay, yeah, you know what? Let's roll with that. That's the new voice now. So go with that. Improv I say would be the best one that's helped me for voice acting, but a lot of times too, if you're trying to like just get stuff under your belt, pay to play unfortunately is a big part of it these days. I was
trying to explain that to my wife recently. I was gonna do some, I left a day job recently, so I was gonna do some like acting work just to get by, like, extra background, principal, whatever. And my wife was getting so mad at me paying for these like casting calls and stuff.
Yeah,
she's like, you're getting scammed
and stuff.
Yeah, she's like, you're being scammed by these websites. I'm like, no, these are real casting calls.
There's some that are scams. For these.
Yeah, like, they definitely are.
Yeah, like Backstage is fine. Actors Access is fine.
Yeah,
I would not do the Nine agency or the non-agency or whatever that one is.
I looked into that one, but it looks like all the ones I saw in Atlanta look legit. It's too expensive.
They look legit, but I've never heard anyone that actually like got something from it.
Okay.
Because like they reached out to me.
Yeah.
And I like sat through a seminar thing with it, and I was no, I'm not feeling this.
It feels very scammy.
It all sounds
like a timeshare.
It's
thing.
very like too good to be true kind of stuff. Right. I'm like, how do you know exactly all the things that I want to be in? And
it's a little bit of false advertising too, because while they are sending you real like casting calls, they advertise it as this is a casting call for this series, and then they say, oh yeah, we cast for that series, but we also cast for this and that and this and that. And it's like, just be upfront about what you're doing.
For sure. But yeah, so I mean, like, also if you're looking to just get started in that, whether it's acting or voice acting, a lot of people are on Facebook. Go on Facebook, type in insert city name here, filmmakers group or actors or whatever, or casting calls. So Indianapolis casting calls, Atlanta casting calls. Like, I'm in an Atlanta group and I live nowhere near Atlanta.
Right.
But people are posting stuff there all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would, and the beauty of the internet these days is you can record or film yourself or just do a Zoom call with people. And if they really like you, then maybe they'll be like, yeah, come on down to Atlanta. Let's do an in-person one now.
Yeah.
Or like, you got it. Let's start filming in 3 weeks kind of thing. So, yeah, just Facebook, I say, is a good tool. Castingcall.club is a good one too. If you're just trying to get some voice work started. A lot of it's like fan dubs of, like, I don't know, people making like fanfic Sonic the Hedgehog or whatever. Yeah. But
hey, if you get $50 or whatever, that's a win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like an audio book or something.
Absolutely. Audiobooks pay pretty well too.
Do you have anything that you're plugging coming up? This will probably come out in about 2 weeks.
Anything coming up?
I might put it out in a week. But.
I'm just my bands. I got The Day After, heavy punk rock, post gospel, like Midwest emo alternative stuff. First Jason, the horror punk stuff. We got a lot of conventions coming up. We'll be at, not for me, but we'll be at 420con up in Canada in a couple of weeks with like the guys from Clerks and stuff. They're wonderful people.
Let's go. How do I get on that one?
The dude in Outcast looks like Crabman from My Name Is Earl. He's gonna be up there too.
Let me get 5 minutes on 420 Fest, man.
Yeah, dude, come on up. I'm sure we could make that happen. But yeah, then we've got a couple movies today. I'm going to film a movie called Devour, big monster movie. It's gonna be real fun. Got those video games coming out, and later this year I'll be filming a cheesy, awesome movie called Killer Pizza, and it's just gonna be kind of like Trauma, like Toxic
I saw
Avenger
you
kind of
sharing the Kickstarter for that one.
Yeah, there's an Indiegogo going right now. Yeah. And if this is another thing, kind of where I said pay to play. You can help get the movie made by donating to it, and that could get you like if it just depends on how much you donate, but like you could have a spot in the movie. You can get your voice in the movie, get a small role as like crazy podcast guy or something, or you could get like an on-screen death for however many dollars, or you can like pay it like $300 and get like a bigger like part where you're in the movie for a solid 10 minutes kind of thing. So I mean, there's no shame in doing that. I've done that several times for a couple of projects, and it helps build experience.
That is cool. Yeah.
And it's networking. You're paying to meet people, essentially, is how I treat it. And so like I've paid to be in a movie one time, and now I'm good friends with those people, and they just put me in their movies. So yeah, bands, music, acting, Killer Pizza. Yeah.
Thanks for coming through, man. I'm glad we were able to make this happen last minute. While you're on the road. Everybody check out Collin Fiol. And that's it for the show. Thank you, guys. Peace.
Cheers.